ready.
It's been 7 hours and 30 days since the lockdown came our way.
I sleep through it every night and in all day since the quarantine came our way. You've got an awesome project that you're in the middle of. First, just tell us a little about Vans for Bands and what you usually do.
So we're a live music transportation service company. Basically, when the lockdown happened, when they started banning events throughout Europe and then finally in the UK in late March, we got all of our bookings cancelled and all of our vehicles back in the yard within about 2 days. What we've been doing is offering the use of our sleeper buses, which are these big ones. There's one of them just there.
Yeah.
To hospitals as rest facilities for frontline NHS staff, for doctors and nurses, to get a little bit of respite from the front line.
Have to get you sparked up, you have to light it up real quick. Gotta stay inspired, gotta let it out, let it release artistic drive in this entropy.
When you come to the front section of the hair, you can grab it and pull it towards you, as you have been doing, and slightly back away from the face as well. And that gives you options for kind of sweeping the top into the sides.
His persona, I guess, it was interesting because, he's been, there's Prince when he's at Paisley Park by himself, just being himself. But then, as soon as he's in front of people, it's the Prince persona.
Yeah, he's
playing that guy. He's on.
Yeah.
And, he can maintain that for a whole concert. He can maintain that for a while.
Yeah.
But when you're actually sitting down having a conversation, it sort of slips in and out. Like, you do see the real person there, like just having a conversation.
Yeah.
And that was really interesting because the other times that I'd met him before, it was just like in the public setting and there's other people around and he's just being Prince.
So today I'm going to do a very simple pasta with courgette, lemon, garlic and thyme with some leftover pesto. Can't wait to tuck in.
Which brings us on to this one, which was by Piranha Comics. Both of these are by Piranha Comics. Oh, right, I get it. I thought I'd given her a paper cut for a minute.
This is a game you can play with all the family. It's an all-ages adventure platforming game called Figment. Now, Figment is like a wonderful fairy tale looking at the inside of the human mind.
The setting is fun, like the play space is interesting by itself, but that doesn't do everything, especially when you have a few hours of game. Like the full game is around 5-6 hours. Okay. So if it was only a cute thing, then that wouldn't work. That wouldn't hold up. So it was important for us to also have a deeper story and more layers. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I rang Paisley Park. This is back in the day when you had landline phones, and I rang Paisley Park and told the lady, look, I was on the street when I was young. Prince really helped me sort of get off the street and find myself, and I've just got this really good job, and I want to make a donation to his charity in his name. And I was wondering if you could tell me what the charity is. This lady's like almost in tears, and she's like, "Can you hold on a minute?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I was waiting on the phone for half an hour. I thought she forgot about me. And she comes back and she gives me an email address. She says, look, send an email to this email address and they'll sort you out. And I'm like, what do I say? She's like, just exactly what you told me. I'm like, okay. I go, well, what's the email address? And she goes, have you got a pen? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, okay, it's LOVE, the number 4, ONE. And I'm like, love for one another. And she said, yes. Yeah. And I'm like, love for one another. She goes, yes. And she goes, at AOL.com. I'm like, that's him. That's him. That's him.
Amazing.
Right?
So, yeah.
And she's like, and she kind of giggled like, yes, it is. And I'm like,
really?
Died.
Wow.
So for about 9-10 months, we started emailing.
This is before. You know, this is before the Bryan Singer X-Men. This is before the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. This is before the Fantastic Four flops. This is before the MCU. This is before everything. It was you know, Christopher Reeve, Superman, and Michael Keaton, Batman.